Good morning. Hi, Kyra. How are you?
Good
Hey, I'm good.
morning.
Hi, guys.
We would love to introduce Kyra Wong. Well, you're famous anyway. So many people in the industry know you.
No one forgets me
You
now.
are such an asset to our industry. And just tell us a little bit about your role at MPP.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm the district vice president of MPP Manulife for the DLC group of companies exclusively. So I nationally oversee the insurance business for the entire group. And I've been joined at the hip with DLC from day one. So it's been quite the epic journey.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. We're so lucky to have you. And we're also so incredibly lucky to have your team and your sales team, all of those amazing people who look after us as mortgage agents in regards to MPP. So thank you for that. They're spectacular.
Thank
We're
you.
here today. Sarah's here. I'm here. Kyra's here. We want to just have a chat. Hi, Sarah. Happy Friday. We
Happy
want to have
Friday.
a little chat about how, first of all, I think just how important MPP is to all of the mortgage agents that we're talking to this morning across all of our brands. It's such a valuable a tool. It's such a valuable addition as a mortgage agent. And the coverage is really fantastic. And we want to talk a little bit about this amazing online application link. So tell us a little bit more about that. And I read this great article on Manulife. It was in the paper, and just about how Manulife is really making great strides in terms of technology and really moving ahead and really digitizing a lot of these experiences. So tell us a little bit about this awesome online application link.
Well, it actually, yeah, we have a young CEO president at Manulife. I think that kind of helps. He's very forward thinking. And so last year in 2020, the whole push was go digital. And that was even before we knew there was going to be a pandemic. So it was actually very fortunate timing. But we've created this digital link. And I mean, I know you've used it, Julie. It was launched in November. So brokers are just starting to use it now. And it's different, right? Different than what they're used to, different than their regular process. But what's beautiful about it, and I've sort of been wanting this to happen for a long time, is all a broker really has to do now is just position the insurance, but the digital link will really do the work for you, the heavy lifting, because as you go through it, it's extremely customer centric. There's videos in there, there's stats in there, there's lots of information that the client can now see and read about as they're going through to fill out their application. So this takes all the work kind of off your plate and puts it in our arena. And really, we're the people that should be doing that more selling right on your behalf. So maybe you can even talk, Julie, about your experience using it and the client feedback you've had.
That's right. So it's really important for mortgage agents to understand that the digital link is literally a customized online application. It is actually customized to your client. They're able to click on the link. We're going to show you how to obtain the link and how to click on it and what it looks like. They're able to click on the link you provide, and it is actually customized to your client. The way they enter the link is to simply enter their date of birth. Once they enter their date of birth, they're entered into an online application. It is beautiful. The visuals are fantastic. There is great little videos right embedded in this application around the kind of coverage that MPP is offering, whether that's life or disability. It's very clean. It's very easy to read. It's very easy to understand. I think the thing I love about it the most is that we've all had times where we don't always feel comfortable with those health questions. I feel they're very personal. They're very important. They need to be answered. But I think what's really nice about this link is it's very confidential. The client can answer the questions around the health questions, and it's completely confidential. You can certainly guide your clients through. I do a lot of prep. So we send a prep email. I think that's very important. So much like if we're presenting the form to a client, it's very important that we're providing some information as to what does the form mean, where to initial and where to sign. The link is exactly the same. What we do is we actually continue to send out the form as a visual in email so that they actually have the details on the form and they can see those details. But they're told this is the information, this is the offering, these are the premiums, but the completion of this form is going to be via a digital link. So I think that is very important. I know a lot of people have a great process where they put the MPP form as the top page of the mortgage commitment. I really love that process. I think that's a Dustin Woodhouse process. So they actually
Yeah.
take the MPP form, they pop it on the top page of the mortgage commitment. We do that via email. We send out the mortgage commitment and we send the MPP form. And in the explainer in the email, we just explain that completion will be via the link, and we give some tips and tricks on the link. So I think positioning continues to be very important.
Absolutely. And then you'll know when the client has completed the online digital link, because you'll get an email sent to you, right, Julie? And then the indemnification certificate will come just like it always does. And that's how you know that the client's done what they need to do on their end.
It's actually a little bit of MPP magic because, and it's true.
Magic.
This is how much I love this link. I love it. I think it's providing a wow client experience as both a mortgage agent and the MPP offering. It's just a real wow moment. It's a really 2021 moment, right? Where we're all moving into this digital space. That's what Velocity is providing to all of our users. And I just love that we can align this MPP link with the kind of technology Velocity is providing. So I think it creates a real wow. And yeah, we're happy to show it off. Sarah, you ready for me to do a screen share and I can pop into an application?
Absolutely, please.
Wish me luck, everyone. Here goes.
You're going to nail it.
Here goes.
So Julie's going to show us how to access the hub directly from Velocity and get your deal to pop up right in there. So all you have to do is send them a link.
Yeah. So first steps first. It's very important that you have an application and that you've actually taken the time, once you've received that mortgage approval, that mortgage commitment, that you're going down. I'm in the modern view on Velocity. Some of you are using the classic. This is the modern view. You're going to be able to find the exact same details, but the view might be slightly different. So I'm in modern. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of an approved committed mortgage application, and I'm going to the insurance section. And what I've done is I've made sure right here that I'm just, I've generated the form. So this cute little green button, this is your generate MPP form. And you can see that that's already been done. So I've already done that before we jumped on here. Here is the MPP creation. Here is the actual form. This is a PDF. When you click that great little green generate button, here's the magic of Velocity. This MPP form pops into your conditions list as a document. So that is how we email it out with our mortgage commitment. You can also click on this and you can download it and save it. You can open it and you can read it. So all of your MPP details and Velocity are stored right in here. So that we need to make sure that we've generated that form is our first step. Many of you might not realize that the MPP Hub exists inside of Velocity. You do not need to leave this and go into the hub. It's right here. Look at that. We're going to click on the MPP Hub. And oh my gosh, it comes up. You're going to use your firm code, your username, and your password. If for any reason you don't know these details, or if you try this process and you don't know your password, Kyra's team is exceptionally good, and your person who's supporting you at MPP will absolutely help you make sure you have your username, your firm code. We all know that, your username and your password. If you need a password reset, I needed one last week, Kyra. It was so fast. You guys are incredible. Great. Yes. So I am now in Julie Jeffrey. That's me as a mortgage agent. I'm in my MPP Hub. I'm signed in. And what we're going to do is we're simply going to go to MPP search. And what we're going to do, this is so easy. All you have to think about is we're going to go to the name of the borrower. And we're literally going to type in the last name of this person that we just looked at in Velocity. So that's the only thing you have to remember is what is the last name. And we're going to click search, and it's literally magical. Look at this. Right here, the details pop up. Okay, do you see that? I just clicked on it and I opened it up. And look at this, Kyra. It's right there.
Amazing.
Oh, is this not the best, ladies? Technology is wonderful, a wonderful thing. So do you see what I've just done? I've hovered my cursor over, so I know I'm in the right application. It's very wise. We all know this. Do a quick review of your details. Do a little summary. Is the mortgage amount, correct? The amortization, all these, the payment. Because sometimes maybe the commitment you had issued, you want to make sure that's correct, because the commitments we have issued trigger our MPP form. So you really want to do a little double check here. This is a sole name applicant. And so it's really as simple as I have clicked copy and that link is now available to us. And I'm going to now jump you into that application. Just bear with me. I'm going to just stop screen sharing for 1 second, and I'm going to start a new screen, and I'll do a new screen share in 1 minute here. And so what we do, and I really think this is the way to go, is, and I'm going to go back to my screen share just so you can have a look at how beautiful and easy this application is. Okay, look at this. All I did was I took that link and I dropped it into my email and I clicked on the link. What you can do is you can embed it into an email to send to a client and just be really clear, you know, Kyra Wong, this is your customized MPP online application. Please click this link to either accept. Here's some reasons why you should accept. Or if you do decide you need to waive, there's an option to waive. And reminder, we really do need an accepted or waived response. This is a required item. We always put a note that the MPP accept or waive is really a required item that has to be completed for every mortgage application. So we want to remind people that it's not optional to do this link. And so now you can see this link. Look at the visuals. Your brokerage comes up in the right-hand corner, and the client look at this customization. I love this. The client's name is here. All this client does is enter their birth date, and they click on Get My Quote, and they are guided through an application. But look at these great videos. So why are we obtaining protection? There's these great client videos from Manulife. There's all kinds of different videos. I love the facts section. So this great little facts section. And, you know, there's reminders, and look at all these sections. I mean, you know, you can also do this link with your client. So you can actually be on a Zoom call. If you're signing your mortgage commitment, your MPP on Zoom, you can be on a Zoom call and you can click on the link and you can actually walk your client through this coverage and the offerings. To me, this is an exceptional experience for a client. It's so professional. It's really fantastic. It's taking our clients 2 to 3 minutes to complete this entire process, and we're getting back those accepted, which is what we're all really working towards. And sometimes, yes, we're getting back those waived, and they're popping into our email as soon as the client completes this application. What do we think, ladies? This is fantastic.
It's great.
Yeah.
Do you know how long it takes from start to finish for the client to complete that?
I'm finding 3 minutes, 2.5 to 3 minutes. I think it takes a little longer, Kyra, if we've had a really robust conversation around accepting the insurance. That's certainly where, you know, it's going to take us a little bit more time. And I always encourage people to take their time. If they're really considering the insurance, I do say, set aside at least 10 minutes just to read all the content, try to watch a few of the videos, take your time, go through those health questions, and the clients are answering the questions. And then within 30 seconds of the clients completing the form, an email pops into our email inbox saying that the client has either waived or accepted. So remember, you're no longer actually collecting the form. This is compliant because the next thing that happens, in your email is the indemnity form is automatically emailed to you once the client's waive or accept. Your indemnity is what you need for the compliance.
Yeah, so that's a really good point to make because that is a difference. There are franchises who have said, no, you have to have this signature and the initials in the boxes, or we can't pay you. But as long as the client has, or the broker has the indemnification certificate, then it's fully compliant. We've received it, and there's nothing that's gonna go wrong down the road in the future. So you're good.
Yeah, and if your broker owner has any, if any questions around that, again, I would direct everyone to come to someone on your team, Kyra, to have that conversation. We are engaging in an entirely new world with Velocity. It is a fantastic world of technology, but what happens when we're engaging in something very new is there can sometimes be little moments of confusion, but I promise everyone, just like what you said, that indemnity form is the really important piece. When you have an indemnity form in your possession, you know for a fact you can only obtain an indemnity if the client is actually accepted or waived. And Manulife is so great that you help us with that process to ensure that the client is accepted or waived. you only send the indemnity once that's completed. So as an agent, you can feel really comfortable the process is complete, and you're also getting that email reminder. A best practice I really like, and I think this is a little value add, and again, add a little wow moment to your client experience and use Velocity for this, which is you receive that beautiful little accepted or waived email. Make there a moment in your client experience where you take the time to then have a stock email ready, potentially use this in your workflows. It's a great place for a workflow. And send a really nice email out to your client saying, I see that you've accepted the insurance. I just want to let you know, I think that's a great strategy. I want to remind you, if you have any other questions, you can always reach out to me. I'm happy to help at any stage. Or inversely, if you do see the waive, you can say to someone in the same kind of email, I see that you've waived. I understand there may be reasons why. If you ever want to revisit this, please come back to me and let's have a further conversation. Because sometimes what happens is those clients are going to go off to get some kind of term insurance or something like that, and we all know that can take a long time. It can be very challenging. So I always like to make the offer that I'm always here if you want to have a further MPP conversation.
Yeah, that's a really good point too. The most beautiful thing though in all of this is just the privacy around the health questions, because anybody who's ever attended one of my trainings knows for years I've always said just leave the medical questions blank and let Manulife call your clients to go through those. And I would always say that because there can be situations where clients, don't want to answer those medical questions in front of even their own spouse, never mind you, but a lot of women that don't know that their husband smoke cigarettes or whatever's going on, right? So, and we need people to answer those questions accurately, honestly. So I think the privacy just around being able to answer those questions on your own, and on your own time and not in front of anybody, including a spouse, is actually a really positive thing.
That's right. Yeah.
We have a great, if I may interrupt, we have a great comment. Thank you, Christy. She says, MPP Hub is such a professional, easy way to have clients sign. Wouldn't it be great to be able to sign all documents this way?
Oh, I love that. So Sarah, tell us a little bit about, now I've heard to a tiny little bird that I believe that the MPP link is someday coming and going to be actually appearing right in that Velocity client application. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, you're right. We do have it in the works. As Julie showed you, you can click to access MPP Hub under the top Me tab in the top right corner. So that is always available for you, but we are working on towards actually having the link that she showed you available straight within the client's application. So just to get rid of that extra step and make it as easy as possible for you guys to use this awesome, super cool feature.
That's great. I mean, you all saw that step took me about 30 seconds, 35 seconds. It was really fast. You only need to have the client's last name. You only need to know your MPP login. You log in once. You can save that password so that's always popping up for you. And you really only need to know that client's last name. It's not too technical to jump in there and grab that link, but that will be a really lovely addition to the Velocity application that is coming down the road here. The other thing I want to mention is you can certainly continue to use the form. I mean, now that you've all seen this, I think so many people, as this has been rolled out, Kyra, by MPP, I know every day I'm hearing so much feedback on agents who are using this link and loving it. I do think this will be the way of the future in terms of obtaining the completed MPP application, but you can still use the form. We know that there's been some challenges with the form based on e-sign. That's because guess what Sarah tried to do? She tried to make our lives easier and do this great job of essentially templating the form so that you didn't have to go in and add all those little signature and little initials. And we really made great efforts on that, but the templating was causing some challenges. So Sarah, tell us about that. I think you've made some changes so that it's a little bit easier to do the form if you want to e-sign.
Yeah, so basically what we did was we templated the form. We had some feedback there that it wasn't exactly favorable, so that what we've done is just basically gone and undone what we did. So you can now feel free to e-sign that, customize however you'd like. So as Julie said, the form is totally there available for you. This isn't like we're cutting that off kind of situation. But if I may just say, what I really love about the hub is it's just so slick. Like if I were on the client's end and I received this form and I'm one of those ones that I don't have a printer at home, I don't have a scanner, I would just kind of be all right, fine, if you want me to e-sign it, I guess. But if you send me a like slick link to this awesome website with videos and pictures and everything, like you've got me, you know. With the form, no. But if I have all this information that looks great and professional telling me, you know, why this product is beneficial to me, then I'm just that much more likely to believe in it.
I agree. I think it's really a really lovely modern touch, you know. So let's go through this again. You can certainly use the new online link. I think it works like a charm. I really would encourage everyone to give it a try. Number two, you can definitely continue to use eSign within Velocity, and we've made improvements so that it's a lot easier to get the form signed. So give that a try if that's what you really love to do. And number three, don't forget, you can always just click on that form. It's a PDF that can be downloaded if you use another signing system, because we know some people have serious attachments to their signing systems. You know, we know some people are really big fans of DocuSign or Sign Now or HelloSign. And if that's working for you and you just love it, everyone needs to remember that you can also continue to use the signing system you're already using. The eSign system in Velocity is an add-on that we really think is important and valuable. But remember that you really can click on the form and download, so you can pop it into any other signing system you like. You know, most of us are not doing those in-person client meetings anymore, so that's really been a game changer for how we're collecting signatures. And we all have to admit, it's been a big learning curve in how we are using signing systems. It's a big learning curve for all of us. You know, so I think that this link can really reduce some of that pressure in terms of, you know, quickly and easily having this form completed.
Yeah, totally. Everything's just, you know, digital adoption has skyrocketed since the pandemic, and people are that much more used to and even have come to expect like ease of technology. So make things easier for me by giving me, you know, just one link to click instead of sending me through, you know, a bunch of different steps and having me have to sign this old form. So I think that people are much more likely nowadays to just trust it and feel more comfortable with it, because we've all been kind of forced to, you know, work our way towards digital adoption and e-signing and all these things that, you know, lenders are coming around, everyone's coming around to really accepting that as a perfectly acceptable means of getting documents done.
Absolutely. So Kyra, we have you on this call. You are an MPP expert. I would love to hear, you know, do you have a couple of easy little tips and tricks? Because you talk to so many mortgage agents who are offering MPP, and you talk to the best of the best in our industry. You know, this incredible group of people who are MPP trip winners. Their MPP rates are unbelievably good. They're doing a great job of confidently making this offer. You know, they're confident, they're capable. What do you think are a couple of the reasons why some of those people are just spectacular? What are the little trips that you think that they do how do they make this happen? I love seeing these numbers. I'm always jealous.
Well, I will say this, they completely believe it's important. And by the way, if anybody needs an MPP refresher, an MPP training, I built a new deck this year and I will customize it specifically for your office, your audience, whatever it is you're looking for. But the people who do the best job really believe in the importance of getting protected now. They know a lot of the comments that are made about the product. You know, and there's a lot of people out there who will say bad things about creditor insurance, but creditor insurance is a $5.7 billion annual industry. People buy this product, okay? And I really like to give people an education about why. We do have term insurance too, but I would say that the people who really do the best job, here's 2 pro tips that can be life-changing for your business. The first tip is at the application stage, when you're collecting the information, ask your clients if they have life insurance policies, because if they do, some of them can have cash values. If you have a life insurance policy with a cash value, you can add it to your asset column and you can plump up your application, which is a great thing. But at a bare minimum, even if it doesn't have a cash value, you can find out what kind of insurance they have and how much. And then the second part is in the employment section. Ask them if they have employee benefits at work. Do you have life coverage at work? Do you have disability? How much does it cover you for? And most employee benefits will not cover you for very much. You know, if they cover you, like even me as a VP at Manulife, I get covered for 1 times my base salary, which is not a lot, right? And then on the disability side, the whole point of having a disability product through work is to get you back to work right away. They're not super robust, right? They want to make you feel pinched so that you're motivated to go back to work. But if you ask those questions up front and find out what the client has up front, then by the time you get to the mortgage commitment stage, you already know if this client has a protection gap. So rather than having to sort of sell them on insurance, you can say confidently, by the way, based on what you told me, you have X amount of insurance, you have this kind of debt, your children are 4 and 6. I would recommend that you seriously consider taking the insurance offer because you're not fully protected here, right? So it makes for a much easier conversation. And like many people out there, you forget what you have or how much you have or what you covered for, or you're covered for, because life is so busy. But when people need insurance, it feels so good to be able to say, don't worry, we talked about this, you're covered, don't worry about it. And obviously through a pandemic, we've seen just our claims experience exploding, right? So now I would say more than ever, take those conversations seriously. And if you want to get better at the insurance offer, I'm your girl. I'm here to help you. I'm happy to help you. So look me up and reach out.
So yeah, I love that. I think you're right. It's position it early, be really confident in your knowledge around MPP, access the additional training, reach out to someone at MPP to just do an update. We certainly, we work with Tracy. She is amazing. She just did an update for our team. And she's the one who actually said, let's have a look at this online link. And while we were doing the link, we did a little bit of an updater. She also sent us really what we were leaving on the table, what we were missing out on in terms of if we offered more, if we were doing a better job of our MPP, the offerings and getting more accepted. Then she said, you know what, you guys, this is what you're missing out on. And I really love that email that she sent. And so if you have it, we all have an MPP rep. That's a great way to just motivate yourself. But I agree with you. Position early, be really strong in your conviction that it actually is a really fantastic product. And in terms of velocity, I think there's a place for a workflow here, Sarah, where the workflows are related to submitting. So there's a workflow. The trigger is submitted to lender. You could create an MPP workflow. It's as simple as writing a stock email, a templated email, creating the workflow. The trigger is submitted. The workflow title is Manulife Life and Disability Insurance offer. You can create a nice little an email, and when you hit submit, your workflow will trigger, so that email appears in My Day, and you could literally, for that client, click send. You don't need to then sort of think, okay, who did I, like, when am I going back to MPP? Who did I submit? You can really reiterate the conversation you had with a really great email using a workflow. So that might be a really fun place to use workflow.
Okay, is Sarah taking notes? I love that idea.
That is a great idea. Another cool thing that Velocity actually has is the ability to get a quick quote. So when you're approaching clients, as Kyra mentioned, to bring it up front, don't kind of wait. Something awesome that we've provided is right within the mortgage request section. So when you come up with your monthly totals, there's a button right there to go ahead and get a quick quote to see what it's going to cost your client in monthly fees, so that you're able to actually put that on the table, right in the budgeting phase, and instead of waiting until they've already decided on their monthly budget and then approach them if, do you want to add on top of this budget? I think a lot of people might be kind of saying, not really. So if you bring it up right up front, that I think by far would be the best way to have people actually go ahead and incorporate it in their budget.
Yeah,
so
that's a
Sarah,
great point.
We have a few more minutes and we have some really good questions. Is it okay if we answer a couple questions?
Yeah.
Thank you, Christy, for your lovely comment. She said the MPP Hub is such a professional and easy way to have clients sign. Love that. Someone else here says, Peter says, what happens if the clients don't action the link? Well, I would say this is exactly the same as what happens if the clients don't sign the e-form or sign your digital form. We all know that MPP is part of our compliance. We are not compliant on our files unless we have the indemnity. So what we are doing is when we are sending out the link, we are using those great little task reminders in Velocity. So the step is we send out the mortgage commitment that has the link embedded in the body of that email and an explainer around what the link is. We then action out a task in Velocity, and that task gives the client 3 days. So we do 3 days, and the task appears, and it says in the task, you know, have you obtained the signed mortgage commitment and the MPP? We also tie the commitment and the MPP. So when we receive a signed commitment, there's a hard stop that happens where we say, okay, lovely, we received the signed commitment, but did we receive the MPP link? Is the MPP link completed? So that I think you need to, in all of our workflows and all of the ways we think about our business, you need to really tie one action to another. You don't ever want to miss getting this MPP link completed, or you're not compliant. The worst thing that can happen to a mortgage agent is very challenging. You get an entire application completed. Your client has moved into their new home and they have the keys to their house, and you don't have the MPP form signed. A, you have egg on your face, you know, to go back at that time. B, clients may or may not feel that they need to sign another form when they have those keys in their hand. So, you know, in a purchase is really important. So you need to definitely take action. You need to, just like we do right now, set yourself some task reminders and make sure that that link is signed. Kelly Dean says, thank you, Kelly. She says, love that in capitals. She means it, ladies, in caps here. Thank you, Kelly. What a great experience for our clients. Awesome technology. And what else? What other questions?
She asked, once the client completes the app, what do they receive?
Oh, I love, that's great. Let's go back through that again. So the client completes the application. We receive an instant email that says the client has applied or waived. And Kyra, maybe you have the answer to that. In the client-facing experience, they complete the application. Let's say they accept the MPP. What happens next for the client?
So they could have to go through underwriting, right? Just depending on how they answer medical questions. Manulife could be reaching out to them, and they will receive a welcome package from Manulife as well. It'll have all their, information in there, the coverage they selected, the amounts, the cost, all that sort of thing. There's a number for them to call if they want to make changes or if they have any questions. So we sort of just handle it right from there, and we're in touch with the client.
Nice. That's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah.
Perfect. Anything else you want to add, Sarah? I think we got through all the questions there.
I think, yeah, we've gotten through it all. Unless there's any kind of last minute ones coming in.
I will say, though, the same problem can happen even with a paper application, where brokers will say, oh my God, the person didn't sign it and send it back to me. And those can become lawsuits, just so you know. It's one little piece of paper, but it's a very important piece of paper that you definitely want to have signed, because we do get lawsuits. I see the lawsuits. It's always a form that hasn't been signed. So take it very seriously, just like Julie said, and insist on it being sent in. And if it doesn't get sent in, what Manulife does is we send a letter out to the client. It's called Safety Catch. I'm sure you all have heard of it, but we do this to protect brokers and to protect clients. So there's no misunderstandings. There's nothing missed, but we do send that out to protect brokers, to make sure that the clients are aware they didn't take coverage, so that if they ever try to sue a broker down the road, we have this as backup to prove that we educated them and let them know that they weren't covered.
Right. So that indemnity is a critical part. I agree. It's absolutely, you need to focus on getting these forms signed, whether it's accepted or waived. It's as important as the mortgage commitment, getting the signature. So that's why I tie those two pieces together. No file is complete without a signature on that mortgage commitment. If you tie those two pieces together in your systems and processes, you won't miss it. Right. Well, Kyra, I want to thank you so much for coming on today. We're so grateful that MPP and the Hub is part of Velocity. We're so grateful that your company is so forward thinking and that they've launched this amazing online application. And we appreciate
so cool. We feel so cool.
I know, you're so modern.
Right, for an insurance company. I mean, I'm it's like, wow, when did we get so cool? The client is doing some awesome things out there.
That's right. So thank you for coming on today. I feel like the link, using the link, is going to be a huge help to all of our Velocity users, and we really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it too.